Say what?
Say
What?
Say what?
Hello, lovelies. It is another segment of Say What. I know it's been a while before I've done a Say What segment, and I thought this was the time. And yes, the Say What video is going to be the Red Table Talk, the latest one between Jada and Will, but it's not about the August, whatever his name is, August Alsina portion. It's about something she said about codependency. If you've been following Be Your Own Kind on the social media or the blog, the website, BeYourOwnKind.com, you've noticed that I have been talking a lot about codependency. That is probably because I'm reading the book Codependent No More. I was referred to this book from my therapist, and she thought it would be a good idea if I read the book because she felt that I was codependent. Well, at first I was like, no, I'm not codependent. You know, I don't need anybody to validate who I am and blah, 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 blah. But come to find out, codependency is more than validation. It's basically like attaching your emotions to someone else's actions, or attaching your emotions to someone else's emotions, which is really dangerous to do, because first of all, you can't control other people's emotions. So if you are attaching your emotions to them or reacting to their reactions, then you'll be a nervous wreck. You really will. And you'll just be on a treadmill and not make any progress at all. Just making movement, which I say a lot of times. And it was very freeing to learn that I have some codependency traits. You really should check out the book if you're interested in this, because it's written by Melody Beatty, and I'm actually listening to it on Audible, and I have 4 hours of the book left, but it just took me so long to get through the book because there were things that she mentioned in the book that really identified some little pieces of me that I didn't understand about myself. So I just thought that it was a really good read, and I thought that it was pretty interesting that Jada Pinkett Smith actually mentioned this as her reasoning for the people that she attracted herself to, and I kind of resonated with what she was saying in that, so that's why I chose her for my Say What video. So I'm just going to let you guys hear the little portion of that Red Table Talk video that I am talking about, and then we will discuss afterwards.
To get away from each other, only to realize that wasn't possible.
So we come to the red table. So I'm in the Jada position right now. So
okay.
You during that time launched into an interaction with August. What do you feel like you were looking for?
I just wanted to feel good. Mm-hmm. It had been so long since I felt good. Yeah. And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with my codependency, which is another thing that I had to learn to break in this cycle. Just that idea of needing to fix and being drawn to people that need help, whether it's your health or whether it's your addictions. Mm-hmm. There's something about that childhood trauma that feels as though it can be fixed through fixing people versus fixing me.
Yeah.
So basically what Jada Pinkett Smith was saying is, when she's attracted to people that she wants to fix, because she feels like if she's fixing others, she's fixing a part of herself. And I feel like that's important because it's a fallacy, right? Because we can't fix anyone, we can't change anyone, and it's just, in my opinion, a sense of control. Like, okay, if I can insert myself in someone else's life and better it, then it'll validate that I'm a good person, or to validate that I'm not actually needy, but I'm actually a hero, and there's nothing wrong with helping people, but when you are helping people with the intent of sometimes, or with the intent of somehow fixing yourself, what is the intent behind that? What is it genuine? Because you're just doing something to make yourself feel good. And sometimes when you're just doing it to make someone feel good, you might not actually be helping that person, because your whole goal is self-centered, in my opinion, and like I said earlier, you can't fix other people. We sometimes insert ourselves in people's life thinking that we need to come to their rescue and we need to show them a better way. And if they fail, then somehow that's on us. So if plan A don't work, okay, well, I'll just try to fix you with plan B. And if plan B don't work, then I'll just try to fix you with plan C. But if a person doesn't have that self-love or that self-determination or that self-validation, nothing that we do can actually help that person. That person has to be willing and open to change certain behaviors or certain situations. And all we're doing is making ourselves their savior and hinging their actions on how can I put this? Hinging their actions on us, like pinning their sins on us. That's a better way of putting it. And I just kind of feel like that's unrealistic, and it's bound to let that person down and let yourself down. So say for instance, Johnny has a drinking problem, and you're like, okay, Johnny doesn't drink because I'm at home with him. So as long as I'm at home with him, he's not going to drink. So now Johnny doesn't drink when I'm around, but then when I go to the store, he picks up a drink. So when I come home and Johnny's drunk, it's like, well, it's my fault that Johnny's drunk, because had I been home, he wouldn't have drank. And when you have that behavior, you're kind of like relinquishing people from their accountability, their self-awareness, because now Johnny can always say, well, because you left, then that's why I drank. Instead of saying, I am not strong enough not to have a drink with you around. I have a drinking problem. I need to get help. It's not on his problem. It's not his addiction. It's not his problem. It's turned into my problem. So is that really fixing? And is that really rescuing? So now I don't go anywhere, and I put my life on pause, because anytime I'm not around Johnny, I know that Johnny's going to drink. And that is the type of behavior that you have with people that have addictions. It's not just drug addiction, just any type of addiction, or anybody that lacks self-awareness or are emotionally immature. They tend to blame everybody else for their actions. They tend to say, well, you didn't love me enough, when in fact they didn't love themselves enough to stop it or to get help. And it takes some people on their own to make up their mind, hey, I'm going to change this behavior for me, because this isn't good for me. And when something's not good for me, or if something is toxic on me, then it's toxic on the people around me. So I feel like that was very cognizant and very transparent when she mentioned, I love to fix people because I felt like it was going to fix me. And as you see, it didn't fix her. She still was empty. And then on top of that, he was empty. August Alsina was empty. So she's thinking she's helping him and she's pouring into him, but really she's just using him to make herself feel better. And I'm not saying that she didn't help me, and I'm not saying that people that practice this behavior don't care about people, but sometimes we make it worse and we enable people when our main goal is to fix someone just to make us feel better, if that makes sense. And it makes sense that she jumped outside of her marriage, because Will Smith doesn't seem like a person that needs fixing. Will Smith seems like a person that has identified what makes him happy, and he's identified the type of person that he wants to be. He loves to travel, he loves to blah blah blah. Like, he doesn't need fixing. He doesn't need rearranging. And if she's saying that she has a need to help because it makes her feel better, that can pretty much describe where the disconnection in their marriage could have derived from. So hopefully, she's healed from that and she's worked, through that situation. But I just kind of thought that was a real transparent moment when she said that. I felt like that was the most transparent thing that she said out of the entire interview, and I resonated with that just for the simple fact that I've been studying codependency and ways to not be codependent. And I also wrote about that recently on my blog on BYOK, and I put the link in the description box if you're interested in reading about that and reading about my own personal experience with codependency. So if you have any questions, just let me know. If you want to chat more about this, you can leave your thoughts in the comments, or you can text me on my text community at area code 773-819-2378, and I would love to chat with you on that. And until next time, don't forget to be your own kind and to be kind to one another. Thank you. Bye-bye.